Hi everyone! Today's video is going to be about my current journal setup. I have shown components of this in some other videos, so I will have those linked in the description. But I just wanted to show the things that I've added to this and just sit down and be chatty about it. So this is a standard size traveler's notebook. It is a trifold by Sojourner in the Roadrunner leather. And I have mentioned before that I did get this off the buy-sell trade, so I was able to see this amazing texture that it has on here. And I asked the seller about it, and she said that she emailed Sojourner before purchasing to ask for a piece with a lot of texture. And then she waited until they got a suitable piece in, and then she was able to purchase. I believe that's how it works. So if you're wanting leather like this, or with like a branding or something like that, it is best to email Sojourner first before placing your order, because I don't think this is very typical. So I really am enjoying this leather. The ones that I've had in the past from Sojourner, like other types of leather, they've been really, really lightweight. And I think that can be a good thing if that's what you're looking for, but I do tend to like more substantial feeling leathers, and this definitely fits the bill. It is still lightweight, but it feels really good in the hand for me. So I have added pocket decor, and I really love these, and I'm so glad that I found a way to use them. They are patches, and I have commitment issues, so I didn't want to actually attach them permanently to anything. So I love what I did here. I'll show you how I hook them in. Basically, I take a paper clip and very sloppily attached it with some washi tape, and it just makes it a nice temporary decor. So I just clip it to my pockets at the slots, and it works out really, really great. These are by Katie Daisy, and her Etsy shop is called The Wheat Field. I'll have it linked below, but she also does all of this artwork. I love, love, love her art. And I actually found this artist through Amanda, and I will link her Instagram down below. I think it's like birdrow.journals. But thank you to her, because I had no idea this artist existed. And she has such a huge following, which just blows my mind, because I can't believe that there's people out there that I still have yet to discover. And I love it when that happens now, because it feels like, you know, it doesn't happen that often anymore. So I'm so glad to have these patches, and obviously I love butterflies. All of these are decorated with butterflies, and I love the way it turns out. And when I open this up, it just makes me so happy to be in here and be journaling. I have the video where I decorated each of these inserts. They are inserts from Michael's. They come in a 3-pack. So I just decorated those because I didn't like how the covers were. I didn't like how they were decorated. So I did my own, and I am working on these one at a time. So this is journal number 4, 5, and 6 of this year. And I like the way that they look as a set, so I'm just keeping them together and working on them one at a time. This one is actually almost full. I probably only have another day or 2 left in here. As far as tabs go, I do like to tab on the side, on this right edge. But since this is a trifold, the leather here on this side is just going to butt up against whatever's on that edge. So what I attempted to do was use washi tape instead of my normal paper tabs. The washi tape actually does work pretty well. What I did was I would just take a piece and fold it over the edge like this, and then leave, you know, a piece hanging off, and that would be the area where I wrote like a regular tab. And it It works fine, and the reason I chose to do it that way is because it's flexible and it would, you know, flex as needed when the leather was closing on it. So it worked, but what I found was over time, the washi tape would stay curled over. And I would find that I would have to coax it to flatten it back out again. And that was just another extra step, and it kind of frustrated me. So I decided to nix it and take it all out in the end, because these inserts are going to be in here for a couple of months at least. And if those are curled over for that long, I just didn't know how long it would take to flatten them back out. And I was like, oh, that's just a whole other extra step. And I'm not into that right now. So I decided against it. And I was actually thinking about cutting up fabric and gluing it in and using that as tabs, because it would still be flexible, you know, for the trifold. But I thought it might bounce back better than the washi tape was. But then I would have to cut out the fabric pieces and figure out what glue to use in here. And then I just decided not to do that because I already have all of these tabs already punched from paper. And so I just decided to put them at the top. And I didn't want to try that because I really thought I would hate that. But it turns out it is not an issue for me. I actually enjoy having them up at the top. So I'm glad that ended up working out. These ones in particular, they're from when Robin at formerly Art Journal Girl, when she had her Etsy shop, I had bought these tabs from her. I thought I had used them all up, but I found them. So I decided to use them in here. And I will continue to do that at the tops of these as well. I'm just happy that I get to continue using tabs. In one of my previous videos, someone had asked me more about this paper. Like I said, it's the 3-pack from Michaels, so it's very inexpensive. And I talked about how I was surprised that it was fountain pen friendly. I have not had issues with my fountain pens bleeding through this. I usually use a TWSBI Eco in the medium nib with organic studio inks, and someone had asked me how this was with watercolor, and I do not watercolor at all, really, but I do have watercolors. So I decided to test that out. On this page, I did a really light wash, and there was no bleed through. This was just from this side. I didn't let this dry all the way before I closed it. But it took the light wash really beautifully. And then on this side, I decided to do a really heavy application where I did the plopping. And to my surprise, again, it took that extremely well. There was no bleed through at all. But you can see how the paper warps, but I know a lot of people like that. So I'm really surprised. And then I did a pen test with one of my organic studio inks over the watercoloring. The sheen of the ink does not show through over watercolor, but this watercolor is shimmery anyway, but it just really absorbed the pen ink. So it doesn't do very well over the watercolor. But then I stamped also because I might as well. And I just used my Versamagic Dewdrop inks with my stamp. And I don't know, I think it looks great over the watercolor. I think it handled it really well, you know, and that didn't bleed through either. So I'm even more impressed now with this paper. So in case you were curious about any of that, there's that for you. But I think that's it. I had my patches and then my tabs and the watercoloring. So I'm really, really happy with this. This has been a really fun journal to be in. I did end up placing a Jet Pens order, and I got some standard size inserts, the Midori 02, because the Midori MD paper is my absolute favorite, and the Travelers Company uses it, but in white instead of the cream, and I got the full grid. So I'm really excited to finally get those and use them. I don't have anything in the full length pocket. I actually don't keep ephemera or anything like that on my journal. I keep it in a separate bag. So that's it. It's very simple, and the things that are in here are just what I write on, and then decor just to make me happy. But that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're doing well, and I'll see you soon. Bye.